nobody wants to talk about backup. Nobody wants to. It's an evil, but it's a necessary evil. But nonetheless, nobody really wants to talk about it. It's like talking about plumbing, right?
I'm with you.
Nobody cares about plumbing until you get backup. So, boom.
Back.
Sorry. So, in order to get people to come and talk to me, I was saying that backup is evil, right? Because back then, even 15, almost 20 years ago, the whole idea about doing full backups, which pulls all of your data across from all of your subsystems, pushes it across your networks. It doesn't just touch every piece of your infrastructure. It treads all over it in great big hobnail boots. If anything's going to break, it's going to break during backup. Okay?
You're gonna
very true.
You're gonna have to hobnail boots. Is that a British phrase?
Hobnail boots, yeah, it's a British thing. It's like boots that are so thick that they've got like these nails at the bottom to provide tread.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm with you. I'm bilingual, by the way. I speak both English and American. But go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, having spent a long time in data centers at 3:00 in the morning troubleshooting why backup has broken something or something isn't working or why it goes really fast in one direction over the network, but because the duplexing settings are wrong, that restores go at 76 kilobytes per second. We've all been here.
Yeah, multiplexing is definitely evil.
Yeah, so all of these things which we do, multiplexing and a whole bunch of stuff, is done because we are trying to do something which is fundamentally a stupid idea in the first place, which is to take all of the data that we have and copy it across a network to some other device and hope that works on a regular basis. And more to the point, hope that at some stage, when we need to restore all of that stuff, it will somehow, right, and actually expect that to work. And what works in IT without testing? Nothing. When was the last time you actually tested recovering the majority of your infrastructure from your backups? And I would get lots of people going, and you might get a bank going, oh, we have to do that twice a year. And I'm going, I bet you didn't restore it from tape. Yeah, they'd mumble and they'd shuffle and they would look uncomfortable. And I would go, so all it is an insurance policy, right? Backup is just there as a way of protecting you against some form of disaster. Now, it's not a cheap insurance policy. The amount of money you spend on backup is there's a lot of money in data protection. So would you pay for insurance? So you sit there and you go, if you were to try and run that full recovery right now, how much do you think you would get back? Just pull a figure out of the air and people would say 40% maybe might come back successfully. Yeah. That's a reasonable number. Okay. What would you do if your wife said, if our house burns down, our insurance policy will cover the house? You get back most of the house. You go and get a new insurance policy.
Yeah.
And so, yet in IT, we all wander around. And in the back of our heads, we know the chances of actually successfully recovering is pretty low. And again, I will say this isn't an abstract thing. This is the reality of almost every single person who pays for ransomware. And that's a butt ton of, right? It fundamentally doesn't address the problem that we want it to. And that's not to say that backup per se is evil, but the way that most people approach backup is evil. And it just stems from this moving all of your data from one spot across a network to another spot, putting it into something which is meant to be an offline medium, taking that offline medium, putting it into a fireproof safe. Now, here's the other thing. All of this tape handling, right? I've seen situations where what could be the very last copy of a company's data being handed to a guy who gets paid less than the guy at McDonald's to be put into the back of a rusty van, driven over some of the worst roads in the Southern Hemisphere.